our spot where I like to launch cars. This is literally, I think, the safest place in the area to launch a car. In order to launch this car, it's actually really simple, guys. You put your foot all the way on the accelerator pedal, you put your foot all the way on the brake, and then you let it go into cheetah stance, which will actually lower the front suspension about an inch. We're in drag strip mode, just so you know, we do have peak performance, okay? So again, put your foot on the brake, put your foot on the accelerator pedal, it says preparing to launch, and ready?
Yep.
Oh my God. And that's 120. And we're sharing speed. So yeah, that's pretty nuts, right guys?
With like 2 seconds.
It goes to 0 to 100 in 4.3 seconds. Yeah, and trust me, it'll do it all day, every single day. And that's the nuts part. It's like, whereas the older versions of this car, you know, you could do that maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 times before you came up with the message, motors are needing to cool off. This thing, you can do 8, 9 passes in a row just like that. It's because it's got those upgraded Kevlar sleeve motors. It's an incredible experience to feel. I encourage every enthusiast, even if you're an EV hater, please try to go and launch one of these at least once in your life. Because it's an experience that you can't have in any other car. This is literally the fastest production car in the world. I mean, that is literally Bugatti Chiron Super Sport level fast, and that's a $1 million plus car, multi-million-dollar car, mind you. So yeah, it's a good. Hey guys, my name is Adam, and welcome back to Driven Productions. It has been a few weeks since I was able to make content. It has been a monsoon of rain in Tennessee. Unbelievable. We are the rainiest state in the union for a reason. Literally, it has been raining every day for the past 3 weeks, but it is nice today, and I was able to get together with Rich to talk about this brand new Tesla Model S Plaid in Lunar Silver, which looks amazing. I love this color. This is a $2,500 upgraded color. Now, they literally just announced the new Model S refresh last week, and this is even before Rich and I got a chance to schedule the review. And so if you don't know, this whole area here has been restyled. They also restyled the rear diffuser. They tweaked the suspension on the new one. They come out with new wheels, but otherwise it's a very similar car. I will say though, the one thing that I bet you didn't know is this particular version of the car has the upgraded sports seats, which we're gonna cover. And the new version they just announced has LED lighting that is now ambient and allows you to change it. But otherwise, it's the same car. So we're gonna go through the whole car today. I'm gonna take a point of view drive with you. We're gonna launch the car, which you might have already seen already. And I'm just gonna give you our opinion of the vehicle, talk about the value, the depreciation. I'm gonna bring Rich on camera, the owner, and we're gonna go through the whole thing here. So stick around, this is gonna be a good one. Man, thanks so much for coming to the HQ today.
You're welcome.
Man, it's great to have you. I love this color. I love this car. I drive a Model X P100D. I did for years, and then I drove a Model S P100D, and then now I currently drive a Model X Plaid, as you know. So I'm very familiar with these cars, guys. Done a ton of EV content. But I wanted to ask you initially, why did you get this car? You know, were you looking at other brands, or tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I was looking actually at test drove Urus, if that's how you pronounce it.
Lamborghini Urus?
Urus, yeah. And loved it, and a beautiful car, similar color. And I'd mentioned to you before, I slept on it for 3 days and just like, I decided against it. And then my wife had been talking about going to, look at Teslas, and we looked last year, and I just wasn't happy with the body styles, and she's a big Musk fan, so I'm like, okay, we'll go check it out. And I saw this color, and then the new sports seats, I was like, wow. And then of course I got in the cockpit, so to speak. And
I gotta be honest, I'm gonna show you the sports seats right now, guys. But was it because of his political affiliations that helped your wife feel a little bit better about it?
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
He was like, the guy's getting beat on, so let's support him, you know what I mean?
That's hilarious. So there you go. There's the counterculture. People are hating on the brand right now, but here's a guy who actually felt more confident to invest in the car.
Oh yeah, totally.
Well, there you go.
And I just, once I got in it, I couldn't find the color that I wanted, the interior, so we actually went online and they built it for us in Texas. And we had it in less than 2 weeks. They put it on a train and shipped it to us. And It's, I mentioned earlier, it's just exhilarating. It's a blast to drive.
It really is. Now, I will say, guys, if you're familiar with the Model S, this is the Gen 2 interior, so it's a little bit different. You have multiple uses of materials here, a little bit more punched up, nice little metal piece here, some stitch linings here. But I really want to spotlight the seats on this car because I didn't even know that these had upgraded sports seats until I met Rich. And take a good look at these seats. They are still heated and cooled. However, they have the plaid kind of symbol here when you launch it, which of course you probably saw earlier, and then you also have an Alcantara suede kind of inner lining here and there. And then otherwise it's similar. You still have the auto tilting 17-inch infotainment screen. You have the screen here, and I noticed you didn't go with the yoke steering, which is a really good idea, I think, because the yoke steering's a pain in the ass.
I test drove that, and I couldn't get used to it, you know, and at the speed that this will do, you don't want that thing getting out of your hands, so.
I'll tell you what, they messed up with the yoke because this car lock to lock is 2.3 turns. And so it doesn't make sense to have a yoke that you have to then turn 2.5 times because you have to take your hand off. Now, if it was like the Cybertruck, where it was 180, it makes a big difference, and you never take your hands off of the steering wheel, right?
Yeah, I agree.
And grant you, people tell me, oh, you can't see the screen as well with the circular steering wheel. I don't buy that.
That's what that adjust mode's for.
Exactly. You can go up and down, or you can just move your head a half an inch, and you can see
And when
it
you've
fine.
been doing something for 20, 30, 40 years, that's what you're used to.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And then when you're in the self-drive mode, you're not even touching that thing anyway.
Exactly. And I will say, guys, this is such a practical car. While we're talking about the interior, you have a tremendous amount of back seat leg room and a ton of room up front. Now, he does have an upgraded mesh that you bought aftermarket, so it doesn't just have the glass, which helps with the seat, the heat. You also have PPF, and you have the window tint. But I wanted to tell you guys, when I'm talking about practicality, when you come back here, you can lay these seats down, and you have best-in-class cargo space on this car.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and you've got space, under here as well.
Correct. So you have just a tremendous amount of space, and then you even have a front trunk. You want to show folks what that looks like real quick?
Sure.
So here's how you lay your seats down. I mean, it's not hard, guys. You push that button, or you have a button up there, and the seats fold all the way down. Look at this. Look at that. They lay flat. So you have so much space. So yeah, it's only a 4-seat, 5-seating car, but you have the space and practicality of an SUV for the most part with this car, which I love. And by the way, guys, while we're talking about the refresh car earlier, I so much more prefer these arachnid wheels, these arachnid style wheels. They look way better than the new wheels they just came out with. I'll show a little B-roll of the new spec. And by the way, the new one, they raised it $5,000. And I don't know about you. Do you think they look better than this version?
No,
I think it looks uglier, right?
No,
I mean, I haven't seen it in person yet, so
I landed on the right year.
I think so, man. This color and the way this looks, this is a good looking car, and I think it'll age so well. But look at that, guys. You have an upgraded, or not upgraded, but you have a front trunk as well. So if you have even additional stuff, you can get a few bags of groceries in there, in addition to having a really practical car. And I just love these new sports seats. They're really comfortable. They hug you so much better. They're sporty, but they're also comfortable. And it's nice that you still have the heated and cooled seat. 12 years since they've been making the S, it still looks great. Yeah. That line, it's just such a beautiful looking car, guys. And this color is fantastic.
That was the other thing that sold me on the car was the color, the new,
Yeah, Lunar Silver Metallic is a good looking color.
It's beautiful.
It's got a nice flake in the sun.
Yeah.
It's definitely on the silver side of things, no doubt about that. The red brakes look great with the wheels. These are 295 wheels, guys. They're 21-inch wheels. They have Pilot Sport 4S tires on these things. Be mindful if you're watching this review and you don't know much about Tesla, these wheels, you're gonna get maybe 12,000 miles out of them before you're gonna need a new set. Right. You might not have experienced that yet, but
no, I had a BMW similar.
Okay.
Don't get used to them.
Yeah, let's have hardware pack 4, so this has the larger cameras on the outside, and of course your other cameras here, and then you have a back camera in the center here. Now, they took off all of the ultrasonic sensors, so that you won't find a bunch of little circles everywhere. And you also will notice the black trim with the Tesla here in chrome. You have the Plaid logo here as well with the red brakes. So this is what they look like. I am looking forward to seeing the new one with the upgraded diffuser and the upgraded front, but for right now, man, I think this is a really sharp looking car. And people always complain about the build quality. I mean, on a first impression here, everything looks good. The way it lines up on the bottom here looks good. I was just watching a reviewer who said his driver's side door was really off, but yours looks perfect. I mean, I don't see any issues with the build quality. Let me go ahead. This is also an area on a lot of these that tend to be off. So you can see here on this particular one, pretty much spot on. They're exactly even. Yeah. So yeah, it's hit or miss, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay guys, I'm mic'd up with Rich. We are in the Model S Plaid. This is gonna be a real world drive. Now we are on public streets, so the reality is you are not gonna get even 510 on this car on the street because it's just too fast. We are in steering heavy, just so you know, and if you wanna ever adjust that, it's right here. You've got 3 different options. We are also in drag strip mode, and this is conditioning the battery so that we have max performance because we are gonna launch the car for you. In fact, you probably saw that launch clip on my introduction on a back road. Now, everything else about this car, even though you have 1,025 horsepower, and Rich will comment on this, it allows you to drive it just like you're driving Miss Daisy if you want to. I mean, you can be absolutely butter smooth with this car. You don't have to put down that horsepower if you don't want to. Like right there is about 5%, 10% throttle. I'm up to speed. It's quiet. It's comfortable. I don't hear a ton of road noise. This has the upgraded acoustic glass. The seat's comfortable. I could easily daily drive this car. You got a 22 speaker sound system, great visibility. What I'm getting at is it's kind of the perfect daily driver. It's a freak in the sheets when you want it. There's no doubt about that.
Exactly.
I mean, if you get on this thing,
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, you want to hit 60, you want to hit 70 from 50, it's literally 1 second. Be very clear. This is engineered in such a wonderful way that it just allows you to enjoy the car every single day. I'll be honest with you, you will make any passenger you have who has not experienced that level of acceleration, you'll probably make them sick. I have yet to live down my mother-in-law who threw up when I had my Model X P100D and I launched at full bean mode with her in the car and she didn't know it. I was like, hey, you want to see this car? She's like, no, I'm good. And I went it for it anyways. Right. She literally threw up. And I swear to God, I haven't lived that one down through so many years. I mean, she was nauseous for like a day. Because people just aren't expecting it. Yeah, it's not a fun experience for them. I don't know how else to say it.
My wife said, don't ever do that again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, as an enthusiast and somebody who loves the thrill of going 0 to 60, 0 to 100, I mean, guys, this thing runs the quarter mile, and I probably already mentioned it in my talking points, but it runs the quarter mile in 9.27 at 151 miles an hour. Do you have any idea how ridiculously fast that is? 151 miles an hour in the quarter mile. For a car that doesn't have a parachute, doesn't have racing slicks, right? It's just nuts. It's like the amount of technology and how it's progressed in just the last decade as far as performance in cars is just kind of on another level of like FU. Now, we're on a back road and we're in low mode and the suspension is in sport, okay? So this is about as race car as this car is gonna feel. Now, I've actually taken a Model S on the racetrack. I took it to NCM and I will tell you, these are not very good track cars. Now, having said that, mine was the P100D and it went into limp mode in lap 3. This car will not go into limp mode in lap 3. With the Kevlar sleeve motors, it'll have a lot better lifespan on the racetrack. The thing that you are going to blow through, though, is your Brembo brakes. Unless you get the track package, which is a special order from Tesla, you actually have to contact your sales rep. It's an extra, I believe, $20,000 or $25,000. These brakes just will not be able to keep up with the 4,800-pound car. Now, on the daily, you really don't use the brakes very often. What I mean by that is, you know, you have regenerative braking, and so if I'm coming up to this turn, I can just let off the accelerator and then it'll coast to almost a stop pretty quickly. But on a racetrack or on a back road, when you're really going for it, it absolutely will roast the brakes. Now, having said that, is it fun to drive on a back road? Absolutely. Because you have the center of gravity of the battery so low in the car, it allows you to really take turns and push the car. You have torque vectoring, you have all this technology keeping the car planted to the ground, you have all-wheel drive, so you can really put 1,025 horsepower down pretty darn easily. All right, guys, I want to demonstrate on this drive now a little bit about the self-driving specifically. So we're going to put on autopilot. Now, in order to initiate autopilot, you just hit this one button. Now, you could set it to 1-click activation or 2-click activation. So now this is an FSD. Now, Rich is actually paying for the monthly subscription, so it's $100 a month. It used to be $199, now it's $99 plus tax. So that's a pretty good value. I also pay for FSD on my Tesla Model X Plaid. Once you get used to being chauffeured, which is literally what this car is doing right now, it's kind of hard to go back. You know, I do a lot of driving with what I do for a living. I'm constantly visiting clients. I'm going to Murfreesboro, I'm going to Nashville, I'm going to Huntsville, you know, I'm going to Chattanooga. I'm driving all over the place. And so I am now being chauffeured to all of my destinations. And it literally feels like I'm out of the Matrix. You know, I look at everybody else and they're white-knuckled, you know, two-hand driving on I-65 and they're stressed out going from A to B. And I'm over here like listening to an audible book, like leaning back in my chair, chilling. I'm still paying attention because it is eye monitoring you. I don't know if you can see the camera real quick, but it is eye monitoring me. So it will know when I'm picking up my phone or when I'm trying to send an email or a text or whatever. But at the end of the day, it works really, really well. It will automatically adjust for speed. And the cool thing about this technology is it is constantly getting better. You know, what I mean by that is it's constantly getting better and better, you know, to enjoy on the street. They're constantly coming up with updates. Even 6 months ago, I didn't think FSD was that good. I actually did a video with my Model X Plaid, and I specifically said I don't think it's ready for mainstream. I don't think it's ready for the Tesla network. And it's even in the last 6 months, it's gotten to a point now where I almost never have an intervention. I mean, Rich, are you interviewing at all anymore?
No.
Yeah. I mean, it's literally destination to destination. What I mean by that is it doesn't matter if you're on a back road, doesn't matter if you're on the highway, doesn't matter if you're in traffic. It will more or less get you to your destination from parking spot to your driveway. And it's at a point now where I really think I'm not saying it's ready yet, but I think it's close. It's 90 to 95% ready for full self-driving without a driver in the seat. And I didn't even say that 6 months ago, but they just keep making it better and better. So as you can see, it's driving itself, guys. I mean, we're on a pretty easy road right now. I'll even take it down a back road here in just a minute, just so you can show you what it looks like. But it is wonderful. You can adjust the speed here. You can indicate, it'll shift. You can put in any address you want. It'll automatically calculate it, your destination, your trip, and then it'll drive you all the way there. And it's just, like I said, it feels like you're getting out of the Matrix.
Yeah, my wife actually says she feels, when she's driving at night on the rural roads, she feels safer with a car driving her because 100%. It's going to keep you in the lanes and you're not stressing over, you know, going off in a ditch or whatever.
Exactly. And the cool thing is it's monitoring all of your angles. And so it will know if somebody's coming up behind you and accelerate at a fast pace. It'll actually accelerate or even try to maneuver around him. And so it's looking at deer, you know, it's looking at camber angles around. So if it senses something, I've actually had it happen before where it spotted something before I did. And especially if I'm not 100% in the drive, which again, it's FSD, so I'm not trying to be 100% in the drive. You know, I'm generally paying attention, but I'm trying to relax. That's the whole point. You know, I got my cooled seat on, right? I'm just chilling. I've got my music playing. I'm trying to enjoy the drive. I'm not in the drive, right? I'm not wasting all of this energy trying to get to my destination. And so when you arrive in one of these cars, like I can't describe to you kind of what it's like. It's like literally you feel better than when you got in the car because you didn't have the energy to get there. So you know, it's, again, once you start down FSD and you get down that pathway and you really use it and you get comfortable with it, it's super hard to go back, guys. I honestly don't think I could buy a daily driver and not have FSD, or at least have the ability to have some type of lane keep, you know, that works really well. Now, having said that, when it comes to the weekend warriors, you know, your Porsches and stuff like that, that's a different experience I want to drive. And I would want to drive this car a lot. Like, we just did that back road, we had a little bit of fun. Of course, I want to drive then. But for the most part, when I'm in downtown Nashville traffic or whatever, I don't want to drive. Who would want to drive that?
Yeah,
it's bumper to bumper chaos.
On
right?
roads like this, my wife's like, "You want to put on FSD?" I'm like, "Why would I want to do that?"
Yeah, I mean,
I want to drive the car.
Yeah, I would enjoy
you know?
this particular road.
Yeah,
right?
but around town, you just let it. You know, like you said, you feel chauffeured, and that you're spoiled actually. From going forward, you're like, you know.
You're totally spoiled.
Totally
now,
spoiled.
As soon as you want to take over, you can see exactly what I did. You can hit the brake, you can grab the steering wheel, you can pretty much do any command that like requires it to come offline. So if it's engaged like that, that's it. That's all you got to do. Or you could engage it and hit the brake. Or you could engage it and you could accelerate, and if you accelerate a certain point past where it feels comfortable, it will automatically shut off. So lots of different ways that you can interact with the car if you have to. And there are times where I'll have to do an emergency. You know, sometimes it just doesn't see something, or it's acting in a way that I'm like, whoa, that's a little much, or I don't like the way this guy's driving, maybe he's drunk, you know, and I'll try to take over and kind of maneuver around traffic. But very rarely. It does such a good job. It's just nice to sit here and relax, to be honest.
Oh yeah, and you set it to move with the flow of traffic.
Right.
So if everybody else is doing 85, it's going to stay in the flow of traffic.
That's a good thing to talk about. So with Autopilot, guys, you have 3 different modes now. You have standard, hurry, and chill. And I actually have noticed that, Rich, you have it in standard. You might want to try hurry. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
They used to call it Mad Max mode.
Right.
It's pretty funny. It will actually pass people on the right. On the highway. Yeah. So if there's a semi, like, you could be in the fast lane, right? And I've done this a bunch on my Plaid. So you could be in the fast lane. There'd be 4 or 5 lanes, right?
Yeah.
You could have a car going about 77, 78, 79 on the fast lane. You could have a semi truck in the lane next to him. The Tesla in hurry mode will back off, go over 2 lanes to get behind and past the semi, and then accelerate ahead of both and then merge back.
Wow.
And it'll get up to 85 miles an hour in hurry mode.
Wow.
Isn't that funny?
That is
so it'll
funny.
break the speed limit
Right.
consciously,
Yeah.
all because of software programming, just to get ahead of the guy going 79 miles an hour.
Wow.
I remember it did it to me once. I'm like, really? We're going to pass 2 lanes on the right? Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
And it did it.
Yeah.
Drama-free, mind you. So it's pretty interesting to know what they've kind of programmed into these things. I'm not saying you should always keep it in hurry mode. There are times when I'm just like, dude, Tesla, chill. And I'll actually have to put it in standard or chill mode.
Yeah.
Or just take over, because I don't want to be an a-hole passing people on the right all the time.
Right.
But you can see here, guys, it's doing 15 miles, now 16 miles over the speed limit in hurry mode like it's nothing. I just think that's amazing that they programmed that. I mean, does anybody find that interesting? If you do, go down in the comments and tell me. The fact of the matter is they programmed it to go that far over the speed limit and do it safely. You know, back in the old days with my Model X or Model S P100D, it wouldn't go 5 miles over. Like if the speed limit was 45 and you had it in this mode, which that car actually had FSD, it would go 5 miles over and that's it. Anything beyond that, and it said no mas. So I'm going to go down this road. The reason why I want to go down this road is this is a really kind of back B road. And I'm going to put it on FSD now so you can see that it doesn't have to be on a perfect road to execute it pretty well. So let's see how well it does on this kind of back B road. And this should be a really good real world now. I mean, obviously, if it can do this, it can do traffic no problem. This is definitely a road that I find most people have a hard time driving. It's not that much of a B road, but again, I mean, you can see it's pretty windy. No problem. Now it's accelerating past the speed limit. It was able to do that turn at the speed limit. I mean, you can see in hurry mode, it's 8 over right now, no problem. It's amazing technology, guys. And the other thing I like about FSD is, and you can see here it's doing this right, staying in the lines, no problem, is you could go ahead and put it in comfort mode only when you're in FSD. which is a really nice feature. So and I have that on my car, so when I do FSD, which is usually the highway or a road like this or something that I just don't feel like paying attention, it's in comfort mode, it's gushy suspension, but as soon as I disable it, it's back to full sport mode. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and put yours in it, because I don't think you have it on right now. Let's see. Maybe you don't have the ability on this car. Yeah. I thought you did. It's not coming up with the option, is it?
No, I don't see it.
So on the X, it has a little button here. It says comfort mode and FSD.
Wow.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you still have the ability to change your suspension. Oh yeah, here it is. Use comfort, dampening, and autopilot. It's under the suspension settings. So
Okay.
there you go. So you have it on right now. So right now that we're in FSD, you have comfort. It doesn't, it's a little more gushy as you can tell.
Right.
This is a pretty back road, so it's still.
Yeah.
These 21-inch wheels, guys, you do feel everything, I will say. So if you want less performance, more range, a more comfortable ride, cheaper tires, definitely don't get the 21s. But if you want to unlock the 199 top speed, you do need to have these upgraded wheels. And I do find it's interesting in the brand new Tesla, I don't know if you've noticed that, the new default speed with the new wheels is 145.
Really?
Max.
Wow.
But if you unlock the new style wheels, which are the upgraded package, it's 199 still.
Yeah,
So
there you
I
go.
thought that was interesting. I want to make it very clear, guys, and it's one of these things that's so wild about this version of the car, is in the Model S P100D, the previous version to this car, the acceleration from 0 to about 90 was full power. And then from 90 to whatever speed you end up going is reduced power. This particular car has the ability to put down the same level of performance all the way until the very top end of the range, which is 199. So what I'm getting at is when you go for it, it never stops pulling at the same amount of push that you had from go. So from 20, 30, 50 is the same amount of G-forces you're going to get at 120 and 140, which is such a fun feeling. It's just absolutely crazy. Guys, real quick, if you don't use your phone, you have the key. Now, this is actually one that has a cool little pouch, right? And you put right here, and this will lock it and unlock it. As you can see here, he has that sound in. So again, this is where you would put it when you want to unlock it, and these obviously present themselves. And then when you get on the inside of the car here, you go ahead and put the key right now. If you go to put your foot on the brake, it will not go unless the key is in, okay? So you got to go ahead and put it right here, and then that will unlock the car. Now, if your phone is connected to the car, then obviously it'll just act as your key. And that's just something to be mindful. Figured I'd show you the turning radius and the reverse camera. Now, this car does not have a actual 360 camera, which I don't really understand why Tesla hasn't offered that. But you can see here, it does give you pretty much 360 degrees worth of viewing angle. And you also have the sensors here in the middle. I do use this a lot when I'm pulling into parking spots, right? And obviously having the 17-inch screen sure helps. Guys, I want to talk about this as a full car review, right? I mean, you do have a panoramic, but is this fixed now that you've added this?
No,
or?
it comes right out.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
it
you
pops
have
right
to,
in.
you have to
Yeah,
pop
yeah.
it out. So this is an official Tesla?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
from the store?
Got it online. Yeah,
Okay,
it folds up to just like an umbrella, just
Okay.
pretty small. Yeah.
So if you don't have this, you do get the full, pano roof, which is nice. Doesn't
Yeah.
open, of course, but this definitely helps, I bet you, in the summertime, cut your temps down.
Huge difference.
I
Huge
bet.
difference, yeah.
I bet. And if you don't know, guys, we're going to go over a little bit of the interior. So you do get a full screen here. You get a 17-inch touchscreen here. That auto tilts. You can adjust that right here. So, I don't know if you probably know that.
Oh, you hit display, and then
Yep.
you can center it, or you can go left.
Yeah, I mean, so it's kind of a nice feature to have. More of a party trick, but that's
Yeah.
what it looks like center, and it stays flush here
Yeah.
with your.
And night driving, you can
Falk
adjust
leather.
the brightness on it.
Yeah, I
so-
think the only thing this one doesn't have versus the new one is the new one has the LED trim. Like, I think all of this has been replaced with LED lights.
It has, yeah.
That's the only difference that they've done. So, we did show you guys, you have the ability to adjust your ride height on this one, the ability to adjust your dampening mode, This one also has the ability to do drag strip mode, which is full plaid, which we showed you today, and you got to see this thing launch to 120. This thing has the autopilot. This is full FSD, so this allows you to full lane change. Basically, you're home to wherever you want to go. It'll get you there in traffic, bad weather. It's just incredible technology. We did demonstrate it today. You also have a ton of things that are just built into the car. You know, obviously you've got your camera system here, you've got your theater. This allows you to have all kinds of different things. Emissions mode is one of my favorite things to do with my kids. You know, this will always, you know, fart on demand every time you come over here. You know, it'll start farting, fart on turn signal, etc.
The light show's pretty cool too.
The light show's cool, you know, just a lot of little things that just, you know, this has, like romance mode is always a fun one here. You know, this will put on a fire. I don't know why.
With Rush?
Yeah, I don't know why the heck is Rush playing?
In romance mode, yeah. Yeah, I was expecting like Whitney
I was
Houston.
expecting some Barry White,
Barry
all right?
White, yeah.
It should be programmed with Barry White. Maybe
Right.
it knows two guys are sitting in the car here.
Exactly.
It's pretty funny, man. You also, of course, have theater mode, guys, and you can access your whole thing here by going to arcade mode or by going to theater mode. Theater mode is something that if you're logged into all your, you know, your technology, you're gonna love this. You do have a back screen here as well, which I'll show you in just a second. So if you are at a supercharger, you know, you can watch something with your kids. This has been a game changer for us on road trips. We use it a lot. And then
free
you know,
supercharging for the life of the car. Too.
Oh yeah, you did get free supercharging.
Yeah, and you can just hit the little voice thing and say supercharger near me, and it'll show you and just hit navigate and it'll drive you right to it.
No, it's unbelievable. These things in a lot of ways feel like a cheat code. Like you can just click charging, and then the closest one is Smyrna. Hit autopilot, like he said, and boom, drive you all the way there.
You're there.
And then free. I mean, you know, you can't
and
beat
most
that.
of them are in Target, so you run in and get a few things. And,
That's right. And this thing has the ability to charge so fast, guys.
Very fast, yeah.
I mean, 80% in roughly 20 minutes now.
Yeah, especially if you're navigating to it, it's actually prepping the battery for the charge.
Yep,
So
conditioning it.
Conditioning it, yeah. So that's helpful.
Now you have dual zone climate control here, guys, and just so you know, if you didn't know, the interior here, this is a phone charger, has this nice suede Alcantara feeling. And let me just show this. Hold this water just for 2 seconds. Yeah, this also kind of bothers me because sometimes I want a physical one, you know, and I have to hit a button to turn on this and a button to turn on that.
Yeah.
I do love keep mode. This is or dog mode or keep mode. This is a nice feature. You get in and out of your car, you want to keep the air on right, you can do that.
Yeah.
You know, overall, guys, like this takes a little bit of getting used to, but I will say the Tesla technology is still kind of best in class, I'd say. The touchscreen is immediate. The 22-speaker sound system's fantastic. You have speakers all over you, over here, all behind you. It's really, if you're an audible guy, like you're a musician, right? You love it. I mean, you have to love it. It's like the best system in the world, and because the car's so darn quiet, you hear everything.
You hear everything.
You know, you don't have a big exhaust or engine to overcome. I will say too, you know, this is such a nice feature here. You have storage here. You also have cup holders here, or you got even more storage here. Perfect place, by the way, as you can see, to put a pistol. And then you even have more storage underneath here as well. So just a ton of practical storage.
You don't even know that's there.
I know. And then if you want to hide that, you got the carbon fiber here.
Right.
Which you can see here, your carbon fiber. So, and then you even have another glove compartment over here, which you can set a lock to. So if you want to keep your pistol in there, you can actually keep it with a glove pin.
Right.
Which is what I do with mine.
Yeah.
And then we got other guns in the back. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right.
I'm kind of kidding, kind of.
Yeah,
this is where the camera monitors you guys right here, and it'll check your eyes. Even if you have glasses on, for some, we were testing this the other day. You know, like if you keep your eyes shut with glasses on, somehow the car knows. I guess it uses some type of infrared or something. So it will definitely shut off autopilot and alert you.
Yeah, you get 3 tries.
Yeah, exactly. And if you get strikeouts, like if you come over here.
You gotta stop the car.
Exactly.
Start over.
And so you can see here, if a strikeout occurs 5 times in a certain amount of time, which is usually a week, you will no longer have this feature. I think they give you like a penalty.
Wow.
I think it's like a week.
Yeah.
And you actually might even have to email them to re-enable it. Yeah. So yeah, there's no grabbing your phone anymore and sending a bunch of emails or texts with autopilot engaged. Now, if you didn't know this, Rich, if you do auto steer beta, you can actually cover the camera up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
That's how they're doing it.
Yeah, and you could still go
Gotcha.
ahead and use your phone and your texting.
Oh, cool.
My wife actually does that. She doesn't like to be monitored.
Yeah.
Kind of creeps her out.
Yeah, yeah.
But you don't ever get FSD.
Yeah, that's good to know, because even if you're messing with the screen while you're driving and this full, it's
annoying.
your
Yeah,
warning.
I know it's annoying, right? It's like you could be messing with the AC.
It's telling you to grab the gear.
Exactly. The thing about this car, guys, is it's constantly coming up with software updates. So you can see here, you got your release notes. I mean, the amount of updates that this car has gone through already, and it's only been in the first couple of weeks of ownership. Mine just scrolls and scrolls and scrolls and scrolls.
We updated it last night, actually.
Exactly, and so you're always getting, fun feature, security improvements. This is the new FSD update that just came out, etc. So that's the fun part about these cars, is like the car that you got from when you bought it, it just got better and better and better every couple of weeks. And again, it's just another thing that's kind of unique to Teslas. I mean, other brands are kind of getting on that train, but not at the level of Tesla, I don't think. Where your FSD went from like kind of good to like, holy crap, this thing is literally driving me from A to B and just getting better and better and better.
Yeah, we took a trip to Florida and stopped halfway, and literally just drove us. It was wonderful.
Isn't it great?
Relaxing. Like you're not, road trips can be exhausting.
Let me ask you a question, because I feel like this as a Tesla owner now, like, will you ever be able to go back to a daily driver that doesn't have FSD or something equivalent?
Yeah, I mean, my wife's got the GV70, which is a fun ride. You got different modes of driving, but still, I'm just so spoiled by this.
Yeah, but you still have to drive.
Yeah, still have to drive. Yeah. I'll never go back. Yeah,
it's kind of it's hard. It's like a cheat code.
It is.
Now, grant you, weekend cars like the Astons and stuff, like the Porsches, like that's a different story, right?
Oh yeah.
Like you want to drive that car, you want the experience, but
exactly.
For the daily category, once you get used to having that feature and not having to drive in traffic, I don't know how anybody can go back.
Yeah.
I know I wouldn't.
In town, I plug it in, press the button, I'm gone. But we get out like we did today. You want to have your hands on the wheel. You want to experience it.
Back road. You want to have a little bit of fun. It's still a supercar, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's faster than every supercar out there. I mean, you got to have a Bugatti Chiron Supersport to keep up with one of these.
Right.
I mean, this thing will smoke a Lamborghini Revuelta.
Yeah.
It will smoke any Porsche. It'll smoke a Turbo S.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's just nuts.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely brutal power.
Yeah. I've had a brand new Ferrari pull up next to me once, and McLaren. I just got a snickered, honestly. It's like, what do you think?
Any car guy knows not to mess with a Plaid. It doesn't matter, because even if he has more power than you, the ability for this car to put the power down is uncanny.
Yeah.
The programming and the technology and the way the electric motors are so smooth at delivering the torque.
Yeah.
I don't care. I mean, you're gapping him before he's even at a second.
Yeah.
Because you're gone.
Yeah.
You're at 70 before he's spinning through first.
Oh yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah. Maybe they just want to see my license plate.
I don't know. That's about all they're going to see.
That's all there is. I've never been anything that matched what this thing can do. So I'm so glad that I made the choice to pick this up, dude.
I'm glad you like it, man.
Thrill.
I really feel like Teslas have been hating on a lot right now, and just like, the whole brand and Elon and all the politics of it. And in the end of the day, they make a really good product.
They make a great car.
They make a great car.
I open the door to the garage and I look out. I'm like, I'm excited.
You're excited to drive
wherever I'm going to go.
I know.
I'm happy to be me, dude.
Yeah, that little monitor in the back, dude's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm going to show you the back seat, guys, because a lot of times you're going to be having some passengers. So I'm 6 feet tall, and you can see here the really large rear screen, and it's pretty sizable. You can control your AC in here. You also have theater mode here. This will allow you to watch YouTube or Netflix or whatever right here while you're driving. Now, you can't do it on that screen and on this screen. It is one or the other, just so you know. But if you have some kids and you left the supercharger, they can continue to watch the content they started.
Yeah, and there's really games. There are games you can play as well.
And they can play games.
Yeah, which they love. And they actually have a little controller.
You can see here, as far as leg room, I'm comfortable. The floorboard is flush to the floor. There's no hump here because there's no transmission tunnel. And so really it's just nice. And I just noticed the carbon fiber carries through here. I didn't even see that before. You also have the ability here to put a little clip for your clothes. You have an LED here, another speaker. And
I
then,
guess this
then
comes
notice
down.
this, guys. This is all that suede Alcantara feeling.
I guess this comes down. Looks like it does.
Well, this seat folds down. Oh,
Okay.
does this come down?
I think it does.
There to your left. Those
Oh,
buttons. There you go.
it just wasn't connected.
Oh, there
okay,
you
so
go.
I had to push it in.
Right,
That's
right,
it.
right. Okay, cool.
There you go.
Yeah, now we know.
Dude, you just, I mean, I don't think I didn't know it did that.
Yeah.
Man, that's really nice. And then you have even another
yeah.
storage area.
Yeah.
You have phone charging here,
Yeah. Wow.
and you have cup holders and carbon fiber.
There
That's
you go.
really cool, dude.
Pretty
Man,
sweet.
if I were you, I would just keep it down.
Yeah, I think I,
mean,
will.
why not, right? Because when are you
Yeah.
going to have
Nobody's gonna be in
an
the middle.
adult in the middle? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Sweet.
That is cool.
Learn something new every day.
Learn something new every day. The ability to keep everything covered, which is nice. And again, even this. So, you know, at the end of the day, these are $100,000, but I think you get a lot for $100 grand. I mean,
I agree.
really. I mean, you get
Yeah.
1,025 horsepower, you get a car
Yeah.
that drives itself, you get a
Yeah.
ton of practical
Comfortable
storage.
ride. Yeah. We
It's a
totally,
great ride.
Yeah.
It's,
the
you
trip
know,
to Florida was a breeze, and
It looks good.
just loved it. Yeah.
Hey, there's no issues with supercharging anymore. There's no,
Yeah.
you never feel like you're compromising,
No.
you know?
No.
I mean, right
Well, we
around the
picked
time the
up-
car needs to be charged, you're ready to get out of the seat and take a piss anyways.
We picked up a home charger at Best Buy for $450, and
Yep.
had it installed in the garage, and so if we
That's a
need
good thing to
we
cover.
let it.
So, just so you guys know, this right here in the HQ, I have two of these NEMA 1450s, I think is what they're called, one on each side. And so that is literally all you need. I mean, you don't even have to get a charger. You just buy the cord. And
Right.
you can plug it
Plug
right
it
into
in.
a dryer outlet,
Yeah.
and then plug it right into your side here.
Yeah.
And the charging, I think, is right here, right?
It is,
And
yeah.
all you have to do is
Yeah. You have to
push the button, or you have to
yeah,
do that.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you just plug it right in, guys. Super easy. This version of the car and buying one in 2025, they're everywhere.
Right.
You know, you got 4 or 5 superchargers in Nashville.
Oh
now,
yeah.
So.
Florida, they have them at Publix too.
Exactly.
just,
So
you
they're
go in
very
the grocery
practical,
shop. Yeah.
very convenient.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, there's anybody who's like telling me, oh, I don't want to deal with charging. I'm like, bro, like
Yeah.
there's no charging issues anymore.
Right.
Like, you just don't
Yeah.
know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and it's
I
free.
don't know about you. Isn't it nice not having to go to a gas station?
Oh, dude. Yeah. I mean, I had a Range Rover for this, so
Oh,
and
you
the oil
know,
changes,
you
all
go,
that, dude.
You go to the gas station every freaking week, right?
yeah.
Every week you're touching that dirty pump, you know, you're
Oh,
sweating.
yeah.
It's like, this just feels like
Oh,
the
yeah.
future, right? You
We
know?
laugh about going to Sam's and getting gas. It's like, yeah.
I know. Then you
Yeah.
you see the lines at
Oh,
Costco.
yeah.
You're like
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
like laughing. I know. I mean, I still go to the gas station for these cars, but in
Yeah.
the end of the day, like, yeah, this is the way to go for the daily, guys. You come home at night, you plug your car in, you wake up 85% charge.
Yeah.
You're good to go. You never go to the gas station. You never have range anxiety.
Yeah.
If you do need to go, you go to the supercharger when you want. But
Yeah.
yeah.
And I've got a little portable charger for traveling. If I need to plug into somebody else, at their house, I can do that too.
Exactly, and it's such a good-looking car.
Thank you, man.
It's aged so well.
Thank you.
It's just
Yeah.
that line, man.
Yeah,
It's
I
such a
didn't like 'em till this year.
Beautiful, sexy line.
I really didn't. And I saw that and I'm like, oh.
Well,
Gotta
you
have
know, if a guy like you, right, kind of a fisherman, a Southern soul,
Right.
if you're buying
Right.
Teslas,
Yeah.
this tells me the brand is.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
because these were California leftists that were buying these up,
Oh,
left
yeah.
and right when they started.
Yeah.
And now look at it, right? It's gone
Yeah.
180. So I just think that's cool.
Yeah.
That's an observation.
I've yet to have any, I don't care who you are and what you do, where you're from. You get in it, especially in the passenger seat, and your knees end up on your chest. You're like, dude, they're all about it.
I know. The last thing I want to cover on this thing is the depreciation. Because did you know that, and I own one, so I'm right there with you, brother. Okay,
Right.
I have a Model X Plaid. But
Right.
did you know that the Model X Plaid and the Model S Plaid last year were the worst 2 depreciating vehicles
Really?
in cars?
Did not know that.
And why is that? Because I don't understand it. I think these. I was online this morning because you were coming over. I was like, I'm going to look and see some values, right?
Yeah.
You can get Model X Plaids right now with like 40,000 miles for like under $50,000.
Yeah.
They're half their value.
Yeah, half.
I'm like, and I was looking at lease specials on this exact car, and they were saying for a 24-month lease, the residual was going to be in like the low 40s.
Wow.
And for a 36-month, the residual to buy the car out was in the high 30s.
Wow, that's nuts.
So those lease payments are absorbing all of that already, but I'm just
Right.
like, this is nuts. Like, why is that so cheap?
Yeah. That's a good question. I'll answer for you.
What is it?
I don't know.
They give you a 120,000 mile, 8-year battery and motor warranty, right? The electric motor warranty. So you're not going to have any problems with that for 8 years or 120,000 miles. They give you a 4-year, 50,000 mile bumper to bumper.
Right.
So it's not a warranty issue.
Yeah.
So
and like I said before, I'm looking at tires, you know, brakes, windshield wiper fluid, and windshield wipers.
Yeah, your consumables and maintenance is virtually nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't done anything to my Plaid.
Yeah.
My X, right? Except tires. I got to put new tires on it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, you have no spark plugs, no air filters, no oil changes, no transmission fluid, no timing belt, no radiators, no radiator fluid leaks.
Yeah.
You know, nothing that you would traditionally have to invest in these types of vehicles, right?
Right.
And they need to be serviced every single year.
Yeah.
Right, if you want to drive them a lot. So I don't know, man. I don't really get it. I think right now, if I was a savvy buyer, I'd be buying one of these used right now.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for watching. Okay, I want to thank you for watching. If you didn't know, that is the lock sound. You could adjust the way this car unlocks and locks all in the configuration of the infotainment system. You can even upload your own unique sound if you want. So lots of little fun things you can do. I hope you enjoyed our point of view drive. I hope you enjoyed the Autopilot demonstration. I definitely hope you enjoyed the launch. This thing launches harder and faster than anything else you are going to experience in your life. And I highly encourage you to just go to Tesla and demo one of these, because there is nothing that is going to help you understand and experience what we're experiencing without you being in that seat and feeling that butt dyno yourself, guys, because it is absolutely laughably fast. But I just think if you're watching this video and you're on the fence of buying one of these, look, they got the new version, take it or leave it on the styling, but this is the one to buy in my opinion. I would go and buy a slightly used one. I would save yourself $20, $30, even $40,000 off new. You're gonna get a fully warranted car. You're still gonna have something that beats everything else on the road. It still fully has, try to get hardware 4. This is hardware 4, so look out for these improved big cameras. You know, hardware 3 is still FSD, but it's not quite as good as hardware 4. I will say the difference between hardware 3 and hardware 4, at least on my Model X, was noticeable. So see if you can get yourself a fairly new one, get yourself some money off, but go buy one of these. Like, these are screaming deals right now in the used car marketplace. And if you're lucky enough to be able to get one of these new because you can afford it, you don't care about depreciation, hey, Rich did it. I mean, I would love to daily drive this car, guys. I mean, trust me, as a guy who's like, I'm almost over here going, I'm gonna start looking for a Lunar Silver used Model X Plaid. And once one pops up and I can save maybe 20, 30 grand, I think I might just do that and drive it for a few years, because I could see myself in this. Really appreciate you watching our content, guys. You know, we're at 11,000 subs right now. This is my passion project. I don't get to make content every week like I used to. I run 3 businesses, raising 2 kids, but I would really appreciate it if this helped you at all to subscribe, share with a friend. Please go in the comments, leave a note about what you think about it. Anything that we said wrong, by all means, go into the comments and critique us. I know you will. And I appreciate you watching. Big thank you to Rich for coming out today, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Talk to you later.